Hey guys, welcome back. So first off, this is not a sponsored video. I bought all these products with my own cash money. So hopefully that buys me some shred of credibility. So a couple of days ago I did a poll and I asked you guys this question. 14-inch LED light bar for reverse lighting, backup lights is, and in 24 hours we had 53 votes. And 23 people said it's unnecessary, 5 people said it's illegal, 21 people said it's something they want, 1 person said other, and it looks like Sheila voted 3 times. I don't know how that happened. So in this video I want to go over this light bar that I bought, and first I should probably tell you why I bought it, and then I'll give you a little review on the light bar, and then I'll take you over to the car and show you how I installed it. So the whole reason why I put this thing on my car is 2 years ago I bought this stereo here for my 2010 Grand Marquis, and when I was shopping for it I just needed something that would stream music from my iPhone and give me a hands-free capability. And when I got it home and started installing it, I realized that it had an input for a backup camera. And it didn't really interest me too much because I thought those things were kind of a gimmick, a gadget. And I grew up driving cars without them, so I really didn't see it as a necessity. So after a few days I realized, I've got this big 7-inch screen here, and by not using a backup camera I'm kind of not using this unit to its fullest potential. So I went back on to Crutchfield and I started looking at backup cameras, and they were going around for $100, and I really wasn't interested in spending that much money because this really is a gimmick to me. So I went to Amazon and I found this little guy here, and this thing was $12, and I really wasn't interested in spending any more than that. I just wanted something that would put an image on this screen when I put it into reverse. So that was 2 years ago, and I've been using this thing pretty much every day, and this thing works, this backup camera works fantastic during the daytime, but at nighttime you really can't see much of anything. And I don't think that's a design flaw of the camera. I think that's more of a design flaw of my backup lights, because it's almost like they're not designed to project light so the driver can see where he's going. It's more to show other motorists when you put it into reverse and you're about to back up. So I was almost positive that installing brighter light bulbs in my reverse lights wouldn't help, and what I needed is a properly diffused and projection of light going backwards where this camera was looking. And so that's why I found this little mini light bar here when I was shopping for the light bar that I put on the front of the car. And this is it right here. It's called the Zmoon LED 14-inch single row light bar, and it's rated at 80 watts, 8,000 lumens, and it has a spot and flood combo beam, and it was $20. So being so cheap for $20, it kind of piqued my interest. And so I started reading the reviews about it, and people were saying that they were hooking this thing up directly to their existing backup lights and just running it off that. And I couldn't understand how that would work, because usually you need to run new wire and a relay and a fuse for these light bars because they use so much electricity. But apparently it was working out for them, so I decided to give it a try. So when I got home I wanted to know exactly how much electricity this thing was going to use, and so the first thing I did is I wanted to check how big the fuse was on this circuit, and on my car it's fuse location 20 for the backup lamps, and it's a 10 amp fuse. And then I measured the amperage of these factory halogen bulbs that run in the backup lamps here, and what I found is these little bulbs use 1.7 amps of electricity at 12.6 volts, so that means both of them are running at 3.4 amps on a 10 amp fuse circuit. So and I've already replaced these with some LEDs. These ones right here, these Auxitos, and I measured those at the same time I did this light bar, and what I found is these little Auxito bulbs only use 500 milliamps, so both of them together is 1 amp, and this light bar, it only uses 2.9 amps. So both of these things together, this light bar and these Auxitos, they only use no, excuse me, the light bar only uses 1.9 amps. So together, these Auxito bulbs and the light bar together only use 2.9 amps of current. So that's 600 milliamps less than these factory halogen bulbs. So I've got plenty of room to play with. I'm not going to be blowing a fuse, and I really don't need to run additional wire. So this really turned into almost a plug-and-play situation for me, and I really like that because it just made it really simple. So I got this thing installed, and as you can see in the video, it puts out quite a bit of light. And I tell you what, the difference now at nighttime when I'm backing up, I can actually see what's behind my car when I'm looking at the image on the monitor here with the backup camera, and that's really nice. And another thing you can see is I've got it misadjusted in that video. I've got it adjusted just a little bit too high, so it's going up into the sky, and what I need to do is I need to adjust it and angle it down a little bit more. Okay, so back to these 5 people that said it was illegal. Let me touch on the laws and regulations real quick. And for all 50 different states, there's going to be 50 different laws and regulations. So what I did is I looked it up in my state, and I Googled reverse lighting vehicle codes, and what I came back with this single code. It's called CVC 24606, and the first part of it says they're required on vehicles after 1969, and it says backup lamps shall be directed as to project a white light illuminating to the rear of the vehicle for a distance not to exceed 75 feet. So right there I'm in violation of this law because I've got it misadjusted, but once I get it adjusted down to where it's looking at the ground, I don't think that'll be an issue. And the last part of this, it says backup lamps shall not be lighted except when the vehicle is about to be or is backing. So if I'm reading that correctly, they need to come on when you put it in reverse, and they need to shut off when you take it out of reverse. Okay, so now let me talk a bit about these manufacturer claims of this light bar. So it says they're rated at 8,000 lumen and 80 watts, and so I did the so I measured the amperage, and I know what the amperage is. So what I had to do is I had to plug it into this amps to watts calculator. And at 1.9 amps at 12.6 volts, it's only putting out 24 watts. So I'm a little curious how they're coming up with 80 watts when it's only putting out 24. And looking at it with my naked eye, this claim of 8,000 lumens, Based on my experience, I'm going to say that's closer to about 6,000 lumens. And it says on here the color temperature is 6,500 degrees Kelvin, and I find that to be accurate based on this color chart here. Usually 5,500 Kelvin is daylight, and so these are right around here at 6,500, and they do have a slight bluish tint to them. And as far as the spot to flood combo, the specification on here, it says that the light beam is the spotlight is 30 degrees and the floodlight is 170 degrees. And I don't think that's entirely accurate. It seems like the majority of the light is in the spot beam. And so I would say 60% of the light is going in a spotlight pattern, and then the other 40% is a flood pattern. But for my application, I think it's working out pretty good. So one other thing I did want to tell you about is this is the 14-inch light bar. And if you noticed on the thumbnail of this video, I've got the rear fascia for my Merc and the Vic on there. And when I was trying to fit this on my Crown Vic, it's just too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a smaller one, and they make a 13-inch, and it's even cheaper. It's only 16 bucks. So if you've got a Grand Marquis, you can run the 14-inch, and if you've got a Crown Vic, you probably have to get a 13-inch if you want it to fit underneath that little ledge. Okay, so let's go on over to the car and I'll show you how it looks. So probably my favorite thing about this is when you're back here behind the car, it's almost hidden underneath this ledge right on top of the license plate. You really can't see it. But of course, when you're sitting in a car behind this car, you can see it because you know you've got a clear view of the license plate. So this is kind of what it looks like, and this little thing right here, that's my actual backup camera. It's a lip mount, and it's mounted right here underneath this lip, and I was able to get the light bar tucked all the way back down in there. And so I had to drill 3 tiny little holes. This one hole right here is for a bolt for the mounting bracket, and there's a hole right there for that mounting bracket, and then there's another hole for the wire that goes right back in here that you can't see. And I'm in the middle of the rainy season. I've been driving this in the rain, and I can confirm that this thing is waterproof. I haven't had any water intrusion into the light, and I haven't had any water intrusion into my little fascia here, so I'm happy about that. I'll give you a shot of it there. Oh yeah, one other thing to note is that it does block a portion of the license plate lamp, but fortunately for me, I've got an LED bulb in there, and it's brighter than the factory halogen bulb, so it does it's able to project a little bit of light onto the license plate light here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.